Laskers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City story shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking, Donkey, Gingy, Lasker, a legendary crew. Talking Steelers football through and through.
Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings. Welcome to your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you, a little football talk here. Hope you all are enjoying the new intro. It's a little fun, a little different. Shout out to Binky for giving it to us. Laskers, Gingy, championships done. Super Bowl prepped. A week of absolute nonsensical BS happening in the football world because, it's Pro Bowl week, right? It happens this week and not after the Super Bowl. Because why would you want to see the best players in the Pro Bowl, Gingy? Why?
Gingy in the house. What's the Pro Bowl?
Well, it's where instead of seeing MVP frontrunners like Drake May, we get to watch 8 touchdown to 11 interception Shedeur Sanders play, right? Fun.
Don't forget it's flag.
Well, that's the way football's going in the future, to save people's craniums. And Laskers, full disclosure, exhibition games should be played where players aren't risking their health. Just
I don't disagree with that statement, just so you know. But am I going to watch it? No. I can think of 1,000 better things to do.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I ain't got no figure skating this weekend to watch my daughter, so I really don't have 1,000 better things to do, so I might watch some of it. Let's talk the championship games. Let's talk the most boring football game I think I've ever watched in Buffalo, or not Buffalo, and Denver playing, I should have been Buffalo there, sorry Bills, a little cheap shot there. Denver playing New England at Mile High. And might I say, anyone who had faith in Jared Stidham and thought that dude deserved to be a starter in the league, you're funny, because that was terrible. Not kicking field goals when you get to go up 2 scores instead of up 1. These coaches don't understand analytics. They just use it as an excuse for bad decisions, which is what happened there. And let's be honest here. Denver gets what they deserve when you don't take a 2-score lead with a backup quarterback. Drake May doesn't look good, but does enough to win the football game. I guess you could say, scoring a touchdown on a drive where you got the ball at the 6-yard line. Because, Gingy, what the hell is Jared Stidham doing with that backwards pass? Like, what was the goal there?
Didn't look like he knew what to do.
Dude, this is a dude who's been in the league for like 6 years or 5 years, looking like a lost puppy, Laskers.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I also agree with you. You take the points when they're given to you, especially in a championship game. I'm still scratching my head. Why wouldn't you take the points that are given to you? At a bare minimum, you're tied at this. Granted,
well, the next
it was 10-0 at that point, but
yeah, the next drive doesn't happen where Stidham does the fumble. It says they got pinned back because of that. Let's be honest here. That kills momentum. And Gingy, analytically, it says anytime you get a chance to add to the number of scores when it's 1 or 2 scores. So you can either cut it to a 1-score lead, cut it to a tie, take a 1-score lead, or take a 2-score lead. Analytics say you're supposed to take that because it increases your chances of winning exponentially. I think it's something like depending on the score, but when you change the amount of scores you're up, it changes your chance of winning by like 20%. You're 20% more likely when you get to that 2% lead than when you never get to that 2-score lead. And in this case, even if they scored a touchdown, it's still only a freaking 2-score lead. It makes no sense not to put that as a 2-score lead. The time where it makes sense to go for it is when you're up 3 points and another field goal only makes it 6, or when you're up 2 scores and a touchdown will make it 3 scores where a field goal only keeps it at 2 scores. Those are the times analytically that it makes sense to go for it. What the hell are with these coaches and just not kicking field goals? Let's talk the NFC Championship game. Same shit kind of cost them there. I don't know what to say, man. But the AFC Championship game, either of you guys have anything to say other than those offenses sucked and those defenses were good?
not really.
I want to follow up with you on the trend of not taking points, Donkey. That just seems to be, these offensive trends in these leagues, these coaches. It's kind of a copycat league.
It's Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell loses more games than he wins by doing it.
Copycat league, Donkey, where it's just not the way of the NFL anymore. People are playing less conservative, I think, overall, at not taking the points and trying to let the offenses win. And sometimes it comes back to bite you.
More often than not, there's actually a stat out there where these teams that do this and then end up not getting the touchdown, how adversely it affects them. Because, Blasters, before we get to you, not only does it not give you the 2-score lead, you then lose momentum when you don't make it.
I 100% agree with that, but didn't the Bills do the same thing the previous week against the Broncos? They had a chance to kick a field goal, and they went for it, and they didn't get it?
I don't know, but Sean Payton, I think he was watching the Bears game, allegedly or something, told someone, that's stupid, you take field goals in those circumstances, and then he doesn't do it himself, so he's just stupid, I guess.
I really don't understand, especially where they were at. It's like,
with a backup quarterback who looked like
take the points.
With a backup quarterback, Laskers, who looked like trash out of one big throw. Like, he had one good throw the whole game. And you're here just, oh, dude, I don't know what to say about that one. That was an ineptitude at the maximum level. And has anyone seen an easier path to the Super Bowl than the Patriots took this year? I mean, you get Justin Herbert, sure, with the Chargers, but without his top 2 running backs and without 3 of his starting offensive linemen and 1 of his top 2 receivers. That's game 1. Game 2, you get C.J. Stroud, who I've never seen a quarterback take a bigger leap back from his first year to his second year to his third year than this dude, who set a record for amount of turnovers in a 2-game span in NFL playoff history. And then the last week, you get a road game, but it's against a backup quarterback who, I'm not sure he's even worthy of being a backup quarterback in the NFL, Gingy. You ever seen an easier path than that?
Pretty fortunate, right? Yeah. They will be tested.
Let's go
versus their NFC opponent, I believe, though, Donkey.
They will. They certainly will. Let's talk about that game. The Hawks and the Rams, and that was a don't flinch, don't blink, let the other dude poke you in the eyeball as points are being scored. My goodness gracious. You're talking 2 top 10 defenses that showed you that defense doesn't mean crap, go score points. My word. Sam Darnold absolutely lightened up. Matthew Stafford putting up a stat line that has never been accomplished in a loss, Laskers. What Matthew Stafford did, no quarterback has ever done, and lost the football game. Like,
yeah, I mean, incredible. I mean, the defenses didn't show up in that game.
Both those guys were incredible. I mean, there was no flinch out of Sam Darnold either. And let's give a little bit of a ride there. Cooper Kupp getting one on his old team. Coop's out here like, yo, you don't forget about me, man. I still know how to catch a football. That's a nice little thing to see out there.
Well, did you guys see what was said about Coop, from them, like that the Rams were bad-mouthing him, saying no one should pick him up. He's old and tired, and no one should pick him
back on the super cheap.
That's probably that's what I think too.
Yeah, you get those things, but I don't know. Unless there's actually a name on it, take them with a big grain of salt, because a lot of times that's just stuff leaked out to try to bring someone back.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But that game, offenses everywhere. Jackson Smith and Jigba going out there. Even without Charbonnet, that running game with just Kenneth Walker III looking like an absolute stud. A guy that maybe the Steelers should have looked to try to add. Raheem Shaheed doing his stuff, And the Rams, I was going to say, punt returner having a very questionable day. And after the first bobble, I don't think I'd let him back out there. But he does. He trips falling backwards and has a costly turnover, Gingy. That's what I wanted to point out was that came in clutch too.
That's what I was going to say. Special teams, donkey. Amongst all that offense and all that glitz and glam that you spoke of, which 100% was present, that game came down to maybe some things you wouldn't have expected it to, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nuts game. Teams going for it. I believe there was a fourth down where maybe it was the Rams or maybe it was the other game or maybe it was the Seahawks. No, I'm pretty sure it was the Rams game where it looked like he clearly didn't get it, but they give him it. Review holds it up. Maybe that was the week before, and I'm just losing my mind. It's been a while since these games. All I remember is fireworks, and then Sam Darnold out of that stacked draft class with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. Dude, the first QB to get to the Super Bowl in that class is Sam Darnold on his fourth team? Is that right, Laskers?
That sounds right.
That's just crazy. And if you didn't think, anyone who's out there like, wait, didn't he win 14 games in a row? Like, I think he's the second quarterback in NFL history to win 14 games in back-to-back regular seasons. Only one, I think, to do it for two different franchises, obviously. And if you're curious, and I was curious how the hell the Vikings didn't get rid of their GM after that happened, well, they did. They fired him today, or yesterday. Finally moving on from their GM after... Someone explain this to me. Your quarterback goes 14-3. Your team looks amazing, and you decide to let him go. And Laskers, this is what kills me. Not just let him go. Like, you could have franchise tagged him and traded him for capital. You let him go without tagging the dude. You let him just freely walk to a team that is in your own conference. What in the hell was the Minnesota Vikings thinking there? And are they not the most angry franchise right now to see Sam Darnold in a Super Bowl?
I don't know what they're thinking. And by the way, yes, it is 4 teams. And, the 49ers are probably kicking themselves in the ass, too, because, he was
if he
there
was with
for
the
a
49ers,
while.
then it's 5. Because you would add the Jets, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Vikings, and the Seahawks.
Yeah, you're right, 5. I missed that. Yep. He was...
I forgot about his time going to Shanahan. I forgot about that.
He only played 10 games there, but
yeah, they're not kicking them. They're not kicking themselves. They made championships. They made Super Bowls. And let's be honest, Brock Purdy's I think, and I'll say this, a lot of people don't like to talk about this. I think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback. Brock Purdy's better for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's system requires a quarterback who is quick see, quick read type of guy. A lot of pre-snap stuff. Not a guy who likes to hold it and chuck it down the field. It's why those type of guys are less successful with Shanahan, and those quick throwers are better with Shanahan. So that is what it is. I think he found a perfect system with Kubiak up there in Seattle. And
I guarantee
fireworks.
you the Vikings are kicking themselves in the butt right now because
did you watch J.J. McCarthy play?
So Sam Darnold had more yardage last year than he has this year as a Seahawks passer. Now, granted, this is the regular season, but he had 300. We'll just call it 300 more yards last year, and 10 more touchdowns.
You have to remember that Vikings team didn't have a very good running attack. They were almost exclusively through the air. Seattle has 2 running backs who are absolute monsters.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you at all on that, but the Vikings definitely should be kicking themselves in the butt.
Yeah, without a doubt. That was terrible. Gingy, any thoughts from you, I should say, on this game?
Setting themselves up for a good position in the Super Bowl, lots of offensive firepower and defensive firepower. The Seahawks are a well-rounded team.
I'm surprised none of us talked about the most boneheaded penalty I ever saw someone take. Running to the other sideline and taunting them when it's like 4th and 22 to give them an automatic first down. And then the next play getting burned for a touchdown. Like, I've never seen a DB have a worse 5-minute stretch than that right there for Seattle, which almost let the Rams get back in the football game.
If they lose, it's all we talk about.
There's Tyreek Woolen who did it, right? I'm right on that. It's Tyreek Woolen, I believe. corner who did
I
it.
don't remember who it was.
And then him going to the sideline and trying to jaw with his team like, it wasn't my fault. Dude, not only did you take the penalty, you got burned on the touchdown. Like, come on, man. Get it together. Do something. Just
The whole
crazy
way
stuff
down
in there.
the sideline. The whole way down the sideline.
Yeah,
Like-
and I have to agree with Ndamukong Suh after the game. He goes, "This shows you how soft the NFL has got." This dude's talking to a sideline and gets a penalty, and then the next drive, because it was literally the next drive, Sam Darnold gets suplexed by Kitchens, which, by the way, when you take a quarterback off his feet and slam him backwards, it's supposed to be a penalty. That doesn't get called on the very next drive. I think Ndamukong Suh's got something there. And Laskers, you want to talk about flag football? That's the way football might as well go if talking is more likely to get you a penalty than dirty tackling, but at the same time, they don't want you tackling. We might as well just put flags on them and make words the only thing they're allowed to share.
No, I definitely think this is a soft NFL. I mean, you can barely breathe on a person and you might get penalized.
Or you can absolutely cheap shot them and not get a flag at all because that's the way things are refereed now, Gingy.
I don't know. Yeah, because I was going to say trying to protect the investment, but can't be getting cheap shots on guys protecting that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be letting Sam Darnold get smashed unless the only investment is, of course, Matthew Stafford. Unless you're trying to say the Rams in that part of the West Coast is more valuable than the Seahawks in the other part of the West Coast. Left him speechless. That's what we like to do here. All right,
I'm just thinking maybe. I'm saying, yeah, you don't want to say that, but like, that sounds right to me.
Any stories you guys want to get into before we talk a little bit about Pittsburgh here, a little bit of the shaping of the coaching staff, and potentially the direction the Steelers want to go? Any other stories before that?
Hall of Fame.
You don't like Belichick getting snubbed? Question mark. Or
I'm just saying.
snubbed?
I think it's worthy of a discussion about what happened there. If that resume doesn't get you in first ballot, I'm not sure.
Well, it's
so I read.
It's a really stupid way of voting. This is the thing. It's a really stupid way of voting because the names that get put on there from the legends, right? So the people who are past their Hall of Fame window, players like L.C. Greenwood, right? Because I believe he's on the ballot. He's on the ballot with coaches and front office personnel. Why the hell are coaches and front office personnel, when they're on the ballot, not put on the same ballot as the players, the current eligible players? Instead, they're put on this legacy ballot where you don't know if a legacy guy's going to turn up again. So if you think the legacy, and you only get 3 votes, you can't vote everyone on the ballot. So if you think these legacy people deserve it, you have to vote them over a guy like Belichick, who's going to be, or excuse me, yeah, I was right on that, right? Yeah, Belichick, right, who's going to be there, or Kraft, who's going to be there for, 15 years. You only get 1 year, and let's say it's the last year that they're going to put an L.C. Greenwood on there. Do you pick L.C. Greenwood over a Belichick, or do you say, I'm sorry, Bill, you're going to have to wait 3 years to get in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's a fair perspective. I just wanted to see what everyone thought. I mean, there's the Laskers, you said you read a lot about it. Did you see the conspiracies around Bill
it's
Polian?
exactly what Donkey is saying. My reading is exactly what Donkey is saying.
I don't know about conspiracies. I don't know. I know the way they do it stupid. I believe baseball and hockey.
There's 150 votes to go around.
I think they have like a special spot that's dedicated every year to a front office or media personnel. Like, there's one that gets in every year.
Yeah, I don't know about baseball. I'm just saying there's 150 votes to go around for football. And that's it. And you need basically they accept
20% of them. It's 30 voters and you need 20 of them to vote for you or something like that. 21.
You need 40 votes and there's 150 votes to go. So that means 120 votes out of the 150.
No, this one's different because this is the special one. That's the main Hall of Fame vote. That's for the players on the main ballot. This one's different. It's a select group of 40 guys or 30 guys, and you either need 30 of them or 20. I think it's 30 guys, and you need 20 of them to vote for you to get in. Because they're not on the regular ballot, Laskers, which would make more damn sense. They're on the special ballot, which is for the other people.
What I read was you needed 150, or you need 40 votes, and there's 150 to go around. That's what I read for.
Well, then he would have definitely got it. 40 out of 150. That's like
no, but
30%.
You're still right on the fact that you had the older players that are, kind of on a special ballot. That's what I read.
I don't think that's right. I'm like 80% sure it's the way I said it there.
I'm not going to argue with you because I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read.
I'm trying to look it up really quick on this. But, Gingy, go into what your breakdown on it is.
Yeah, there's lots of different things at play there. I think what you said is extremely valid. But it is, I understand why people question the look, because, it's a guy argued as number one. Right? I understand the exceptions made, guy who's...
Spygate.
I'm trying to think some of the... Spygate was proven, so there is definitely... a scar there, I believe.
On both Kraft and Belichick, because a lot of people were upset about Kraft as well. And right when we get into it, I got it now. You need 40 votes out of the 50-person panel. That's what it is. You need 40 out of 50. You need 80% of the votes to get in.
Yeah, so that'd be basically 120 votes.
No, each person gets to pick 3 people. You need 40 people to pick you out of the 50 people. There's not different tickets. You can't vote the same guy twice. It's each person gets a ballot, and you get 3 names you want. You need 40. There's only 50 vote. There's only 50 people putting in, and you need 40 of them to say your name.
So
that's how it works. You just need 10 to not, and you're done. But Gingy, I think the best way to explain this is, I believe it was Kurt Warner tweeted it out, and he goes, there are 3 ways to look at how Bill Belichick's legacy should happen. There's 1, cheating is not okay, and if you cheat, you just don't get the chance. 2, cheating doesn't really matter. It's kind of the thing, and the only thing that matters is the end results. And 3, cheating's kind of a gray area, and it's subjective to what you really cheated on. And he goes, and here's the thing. Fundamentally, if you're a 1, 2, or 3, if I'm a different number than you, the only thing we can agree on is to disagree how we see things. And I don't think that could have been said more perfectly in any way, shape, or form. If you haven't seen the tweet, go look at it, because I'm sure I messed it up a little bit. But to me, that's the thing. How many of those people just out there and go, hey, it's like Barry Bonds, although he never got cheated in baseball. If we think you cheated, you don't deserve to be here. Because let's not act like the best hitter in baseball isn't in Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And this is so rare that Belichick gets held out. Like, it's happened in other sports for other guys. Hell, it's happened for a guy who had a great career and then decided to gamble afterwards, like Pete Rose in baseball. There's all sorts of reasons people don't vote for you. Do you think it's wrong for a voter to say, if you got caught cheating, you don't deserve in the Hall?
Well, they took forever to put Pete Rose in.
Gingy, did I lose you?
I'm here. I was having mic issues, but Pete Rose isn't in.
He is not.
He
no.
Is. Well,
he is.
No, he'll be in this year though.
Maybe.
Eesh.
Maybe. I've heard that before. I was gonna say I don't think he's in.
No, because they haven't even let him be on the ballot.
Exactly, and you still have to get past a lot farther than that if you do. But Gingy, do you think maybe there is, out of 50 people, it only takes 11? Do you think there's 11 of them that are the hardline people? If you get caught cheating, you shouldn't be in the Hall.
It's possible. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
Do you think that's a worthy thing to say? I guess let's see where your view is, because I know where I stand on it, but I'm just curious where your view of it is.
Proven malicious cheating. Yeah, I think you have a reason. I don't think I would stand for it.
Rose
See,
can't get in until 2027.
Yeah, I didn't think he could because he passed up all his time to be on the regular ballot. Then you have to wait a certain amount of time before you get on the third version of the legacy ballot thing. I see it a little different here, Gingy, and this is my biggest thing. Like, of course, I'm kind of the tier 3 person. I have a big gray area. Of course, there's people who cheated. There's people who take steroids. We knew about it before. It was
And
really
people
an
cheat
outlawed
all the
thing.
time.
There's people who deflate footballs. There's people who do this. Do I think Tom Brady shouldn't be a Hall of Famer because he likes to play with a flat ball? Hell no. I don't think, and I'm going to put it this way. Unless you're doing something that is like stealing someone's, headset
Signs.
stuff, like something ridiculous. I think if you're doing the cheating that's on the edge of they should have caught your ass before you did it type of stuff, I don't really hate that. I personally don't think I care with Bill Belichick being a first or second or third or fourth ballot Hall of Famer. Does it really matter if he becomes a Hall of Famer? I understand what the people say who have some of the people who voted against him have said, and I can't disagree with that at all. But when it comes to cheating, I'm more of the it definitely depends on what your infraction is. I'm not a hard line, you get caught cheating, you're a done type of person. Laskers, where'd you fall on this one?
I agree with you. Like, I'm not a hard person that you're done. I mean, look at Pete Rose. Okay, yeah, he bet against. He bet. Okay.
If you want to use a
but it was
proven
after he was
cheater who
done.
got in the Hall of Fame and you want to use baseball, the answer is Big
And Pete
Poppy.
Rose never bet against himself, so
I
why would you?
understand the gambling thing, but
I do.
You're talking a baseball Hall of Fame, and I understand where their stance was, but you're talking a baseball Hall of Fame that has pitchers in there that use the spitball. So, and there's actually a Hall of Famer who used the spitball after the spitball was banned because they say he was grandfathered into cheating.
Yeah, like
Fun fact. For
it's
who
all
wants to know.
It's all BS, So I'm okay with it. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Now, I understand where certain people come from on that. They're not going to vote him in the first time. And a lot of what I read is, well, you're not voting him in the first time, maybe the second time.
Yeah, I don't know where people stand. I don't know where they come from. I read the basics of it. I think the way they do the Hall of Fame, especially with coaches and front office personnel, is stupid. Anything more you want to touch on that, Gingy, or anything else before we talk a little bit about the Steelers?
I don't think I have anything else to add. No.
All right, let's go to the Steelers. Let's go. Mike McCarthy, introduction press conference. Introductory, that's the word I was looking for and struggled with. Left some good vibes for me, talking about being born in Mercy Hospital, growing up with the black and gold, getting to live your lifelong dream, right? Good, feel good story. And then he follows it up with of course I would love Aaron Rodgers back. And I go, but I don't want Aaron Rodgers back. Now, albeit I'm not fully against it. I don't think Aaron Rodgers coming back would be the worst thing in the world. Is it what I want to see? No. I want to see Mike McCarthy either develop one of the two current quarterbacks on the roster in Rudolph or Will Howard and take a chance on a guy who maybe can give you that huge upside potential like Minnesota took with Sam Darnold. There's some guys out there. Names that come to my mind: Malik Willis, Will Levis, and Trey Lance. In that order, those three guys are the ones that I'm like, man, take a chance and maybe you find that next franchise quarterback. Because let's be honest here, Gingy, Mike McCarthy wasn't brought in to be a 20-year mainstay of the Steelers, right? He was brought in with one purpose: to find and develop the next franchise quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If he goes 4-12, it would have to be 4-13 now. If he goes 4-13 for 4 seasons, but finds and develops that next franchise quarterback, I'm cool with it. If Aaron Rodgers is a way to help with that, maybe they think Aaron Rodgers will help Will Howard and they really like Will Howard. If that works, awesome. But if that delays the process by a year, I'm a little bit disappointed, Gingy. Just a little.
Yeah, I don't know. You know he has a relationship with Aaron Rodgers. It could just be a political thing. He knows that Aaron Rodgers is going to make his mind up one way or the other and try to push one way or the other. He's that type of guy. So just let him do it, say the nice thing, and move on. It might not even be a big deal.
It could. They could all know that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to play again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say this after watching Aaron Rodgers in that playoff game, or Laskers, we'll go to you on this. After watching Aaron Rodgers in that playoff game, I have a little less hope that he has what it takes to pull out the big one in him. But then again, the Texans do have a pretty good defense, I guess.
No, I 100% don't want to see Aaron Rodgers back, but at the same time, I can see where he could still continue to mentor Will Howard. So, it's not the worst thing in the world. I texted both of you after he was hired, and I said, well, that guarantees Aaron's coming back.
I don't know about that. I mean, keeping Tom Art might be more of the proof of that. One of the three assistant coaches they kept, of course, was Tom Arth, the quarterback's coach. I believe they also kept their linebackers coach, and there's one other, and why can't I think of who the hell the third one was? Well, there's three anyway. Maybe I'll come across it here in a minute. But Gingy, some big news. The Steelers are going to remain a 3-4 football team. Not a surprise there. But new defensive coordinator is going to be a guy who's kind of roamed around for a little bit, following former New England coaches to crack stops, has lived through 3 head coaches in the Vegas Raiders. That's the current Vegas Raiders defense. Well, excuse me, former Vegas Raiders defensive coordinator, current Pittsburgh Steelers coordinator, Patrick Graham. I'll say this, I've watched the Raiders play a little bit, and that team always seems to get more out of its players than it seems there is talent-wise. And the dude made Bobby Spillane almost into a Pro Bowler. That alone gives me a little bit of hope that maybe this defense will be a little better next year, Ginger.
Let's go. We're going to have to wait and see where all our personnel ends up. Right? I'm waiting to see who stays and who goes. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple bigger names, maybe cutting ties, Jalen Ramsey.
He's not worth the money that we owe him if we keep him.
That's what I'm saying. Things like that are going to switch up. And once we start to see a picture of what that looks like, this defense still has a chance to be drastically different.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Laskers, maybe the scariest signing for me is we brought over the Buffalo Bills wide receiver coach. And I don't know if you watched the Buffalo Bills receivers last year, ladies and gentlemen, but Jesus, they sucked, Laskers.
I watched a lot of Buffalo Bills games last year, and did they have a wide receiver? That's my honest question on that one. So I don't agree with that signing at all.
That little skinny kid who was always hurt was pretty good.
Shakir.
Yeah, that one, that dude. See, they had one you even knew who I was talking about. Yeah, maybe we'll see something out of Roman Wilson.
Hopefully. We're going on year 3. Hopefully we see something.
All right. Now this is something I want to talk about. I know we haven't hired an offensive coordinator yet. It really doesn't matter. Mike McCarthy is the play caller offensive coordinator, right? So it doesn't matter. There's a really cool thing, though, that I like that the Pittsburgh Steelers did, because I have said this, Gingy, we've talked about this. On offense, what's the most important thing?
Quarterback.
No, not player. What's the most important thing for an offense to do?
Run the ball.
Hold the line.
Control the line of scrimmage. There it is, Gingy. I knew we would get there. The Steelers have hired an offensive line coach. Okay? We brought in, oh my gosh, what the heck was his name? James Campen, Panthers offensive line coach, now our offensive line coach. We brought in an assistant offensive line coach and Hall of Fame finalist and great offensive guard that I watch play a lot because, watch the Buccaneers play the Saints a lot. And Jahir Evans, great player in his career. we have an offensive line coach. We have an assistant offensive line coach. But this is the best part. Our new running backs coach was an offensive line coach the last couple of years. Ramon Chiong, offensive line coach. We have 3 coaches who specialize in the offensive line on this offense now. My God, with the draft capital we put in there, with the coaching investment we're making in there, I mean, hell, hiring an assistant position coach for the Steelers, nuts. This offensive line has to be good. And by the way, that last guy who's our new running backs coach, 4 years ago, that guy was coaching 6A high school football in Texas. Talk about an absolute riser, Gingy. From 6A high school football head coach to NFL position coach. And by the way, he did that in 2 years and now is doing it with the Steelers. I love that it seems like the Steelers are investing in the trenches with Omar Khan's draft pick and now with the investment to coaches to bring out the potential. Gingy, I'm actually excited in January about football that doesn't start till September.
Especially when we already have made the investment up front in draft capital.
Mm-hmm. A second, a fourth, 2 first.
Yep.
And the best of them all might be an undrafted rookie. Not rookie, undrafted like third-year player. I don't know, whatever the hell you call the kid from Montana at this point.
Let's go. That does sound exciting.
And Laskers, the Steelers, are they going to actually expand their coaching staff and have assistant? Like, maybe we'll have a pass game coordinator and a run game coordinator. Are we catching up to the NFL on coaching staff finally?
I hope so. We need to do that. We'll see what happens.
Also, the happiness in me about hiring 3 offensive line coaches. Is anyone actually concerned that our running backs coach wasn't a running backs coach before? Because I'm really not. I'm excited.
Just a little bit.
I could get that. I'd understand that. So that's fair. That's honestly, I don't think. Oh, we're keeping our secondary coach as well. That's the other coach we're keeping. Which, thank God, because dude, Joey Porter Jr.'s development last year, phenomenal. The safety who was hurt all year this year, but last year was our best looking safety. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Phenomenal. The fact that we picked up scrap heap safeties and they didn't suck, phenomenal. So I'm glad we kept him. Good coaches. I like the coaches we kept. I'm not sure about Tom Arth, but a lot of people seem to really like him as quarterbacks coach, so I'm cool with that. And probably a good idea to keep a little bit of continuity in your coaching staff, just so you have guys who really know the team and the way the team interacts, because there's going to be a lot of holdover here, and I think having those guys help you while you're building this is a good jumpstart, Gingy. How do you feel about maintaining some of the coaching staff from last year?
If it's guys who fit. Now remember, we're wanting some sort of change. Right?
Oh,
yeah, they'll win a playoff game.
I want to throw the ball in the middle of the damn field just once.
So we gotta have something that ready to move away from that. If we have a core that's still on that train, that can't be.
We're getting all new coordinators, and only, like I said, the only holdovers are quarterbacks coach, secondary coach, and linebackers coach. So hopefully,
I'm all right with it. I'm good with it.
Hopefully that's a lot of change. Laskers, any thoughts on that?
The middle of the field's where you win the game, so let's go.
Yes, please, God, use Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth at the same time and run them both near the linebacker so the linebacker doesn't know who the hell to cover. Please, God. That's all I ask. I got nothing else for this week unless you guys got something else you want to touch on before we maybe give a shout out, maybe don't give a shout out. I don't know, however you want to phrase it.
Let's go flag football.
Goodness me. Yeah, I wish there was a really entertaining Pro Bowl to watch. Maybe this one will be.
I think
we can
I'll
give
pass.
it a shot. I know, but I'm just old and remember the Pro Bowls of old.
I just really wish the Pro Bowl was played after the Super Bowl so you could at least see the best players from the best teams. Like,
That's the way it should
lame.
be.
Like, I don't want to watch frickin' Shadur Sanders. I know, PR, people are going to love it. Brr, 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 brr. Honestly, I really don't want to watch any of them because none of it matters. Although I think the skill competitions are kind of fun, just to see who's, the best
Well,
at
that's the
doing
same
silly
with
little things.
Me and you are both MLB people. It's the same way with the MLB. The skill competitions are fun. The rest
Do
of
they
it sucks.
still do the yuck it, chuck it, let's see who has the biggest arm competition at the Pro Bowl? Because that used to be my favorite thing. Watching
I
the
don't know.
quarterbacks
I
to see who
honestly
could
have
chuck that
no
thing
idea.
as far as they could.
I honestly have no idea. I haven't watched a Pro Bowl in 15 years.
Do I have to buy a special channel to watch the Pro Bowl, or can I get it on antenna
Probably.
TV?
You probably have to buy it. I have no idea. I'm just
That's probably on like Netflix.
I'm being a negative.
It's on Netflix. Something crazy. Tis what it is. Then let's get the shout outs. Laskers, you happen to have anybody you feel like shouting out this week?
No, I got nothing this week.
Genji, you have anybody you feel like shouting out?
Not anybody in particular, but shout out to the, final week before the end of football. Looking forward to talking about the Super Bowl with you fellas next week.
Yeah, that's all that's going to be covered.
So, yeah, that's my only shout out.
My shout out has absolutely nothing to do with football, but didn't really get a shout out because it was happening kind of during the show last week. But I'm going to give a shout out to Alex Honnold going over to Taipei and climbing Taipei 101, a tower with no ropes and stuff, live on Netflix. I didn't watch it there. I watched the little can't hear anything audio stream on YouTube that was, gets shut down every 5 minutes due to copyright stuff. Not that I did that, just saying, Well, I wasn't part of violating anything. I was just watching videos they let me. But Alex Honnold is an absolute god in the climbing world. If you've never watched really two really good documentaries of him, Free Solos about him doing El Capitan, and Devil's Peak is about him and one of his buddies climbing a mountain in Canada. I believe that's really hard to get to. It's about the whole trip there. Really cool things if you're into the outdoor sports stuff and want to like a behind-the-scene view of what goes on in that type of stuff. Two really good documentaries to watch, and Alex Honnold doing that. And thank goodness he didn't fall, because that would have been really weird to watch. And I don't know. Netflix apparently had a whole situation for it if it did happen, but kudos to him climbing that. Impressive. Now I gotta let you know, I'm the Viking Donkey. Viking_Donkey at Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey Ginger is the awesome YouTube channel where you get this content. Tell us how you like the new theme song going on in here. I finally put the part that I meant to be the entry this week. Last week's one was kind of a test, and I was really tired, and I couldn't remember where I was trying to go. So Laskers, let them know.
I'm Laskers everywhere. If you can't find me, well then I guess that's the best of luck to you. Gingy to you.
Mutant Ginger in the house. We hanging out. We watching football. We getting ready for the Super Bowl next week. Looking forward to chatting.
Gingy, I'll wait my time for you, just for you.
Let them know. Played a new theme song everywhere. It rocks. Way to go, big. Here we go, Steelers.
Yo, it's Viking Donkey Gingy and Lasker on the mic. Steel City nonsense, yeah, we're here to ignite debates and discussions all about the black and gold stories of the Steelers, bravely to be told. Another Sunday, the air is thick with anticipation from the North Shore to every fan's location. We're breaking down the plays, the wins and the heartbreaks, every single snap. For goodness sakes, got my terrible towel waving it high and proud, lost in the cheers of the roaring crowd. From Bradshaw's bombs to Ben's big throws, Steelers legacy everybody knows. Oh, nonsensical Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City story shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking Donkey Gingy, Lasker, a legendary crew, talking Steelers football through and through. Was it a tackle, a fumble, or a perfect pass? We're dissecting every moment, making it last. From the draft picks to the Hall of Fame, every player, we know their names. Some say we're crazy, some say we're obsessed, but for the Steelers we put it to the test. Debates get heated, opinions fly around, but in our love for the team, common ground is found. Oh, nonsensical Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City story shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking, Donkey, Gingy, Lasker, a legendary crew. Talking Steelers football through and through. From the immaculate reception to Super Bowl rings, our Steel City heroes, the joy they bring. Through the highs and the lows, we stand by their side. With every victory, our pride can't hide. So grab your headphones, tune in and chill. For the love of the Steelers, we'll talk until... Nonsensical Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City story shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking, Donkey, Gingy, Last